From the winerychannel.tv, this is The Source. Here's winemaker Justin Smith of Saxum Vineyards, Paso Robles, California.
Hi, welcome to Saxum Vineyards. I'm Justin Smith. My wife and I, Heather, are the owners and winemakers here. We are located in Paso Robles, the western side, in the central coast of California. You can see behind me the fog rolling through the San Lucia Mountains. That is because of our proximity to the Pacific Ocean here. We're only about 10 miles off the Pacific. And these mountains here, this dip that we have in it is called the Templeton Gap, and it's a low point in the San Lucias. And it allows the cool Pacific Ocean breezes and fog to come through and keep us moderated. So we're driving down off the top of our hill where the winery is, down into the vineyard, into James Berry Vineyard. So this is where most of our fruit comes from, is our estate here at James Berry. We've got various blocks all around. It's about 55 acres planted. Saxum only keeps about a quarter of that, and we sell a number of blocks to other wineries, wineries such as Copan, Carlisle, and Villa Creek, and a new one called Torrin. And but Saxum's got the bulk of it, and various plantings of Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. We really like to mix it up with different exposures on the hills. You know, since we have these rolling hills, a north slope will produce a very different wine than a south slope, one being away from the sun, one catching a lot of sun. There'll actually be 6 weeks of variation between picking one and picking the other. So this is a block of Grenache. This is actually what we call our rocket block. It was our first block of Grenache that we planted here at James Berry Vineyard, and it was planted in '95. You can see the vines here. They're what is called a lyre. So it's a divided canopy. We split them in two in order to get the sun kind of coming through on both sides. And we've also gone through and thinned a lot of the fruit out. Grenache likes to set a pretty heavy crop, so what we usually do is go in and drop about half of it, reduce the amount of fruit, and in turn, when you don't have as much fruit hanging, you tend to get a wine that has a little more depth to it. You can also see, though, because of these soils, our berries are still quite small, even for a variety like Grenache, which tends to have a very, very large berry. So we have on our right here a block of Syrah. You can see this hasn't been thinned out yet. The crop's still a little bit heavy. We'll go in a few days and drop about half of that load and reduce it so it gets a little more concentration when it's ripe. But you can also see the kind of the difference between Syrah and Grenache here. Syrah is much more lanky and open growing, and a little more kind of vigorous in its growth, where Grenache is a little more compact and bigger clusters. You know, these Syrah clusters you can see here, they're fairly small and loose compared to those larger Grenache clusters. So because Saxum is so small, limited in our production, it can be relatively hard to find. We do send a small amount out to restaurants and retailers around the country, but the best way to find our wine is to sign up online. We have a mailing list. You can sign up there and send us your information, and twice a year we'll send you out an order form with the wines that we have available. And our website is www.saxumvineyards.com. And you can contact us there too if you need to.
Thanks for joining us here on The Source.